are here to join us, and let's have a conversation about no man's land. Round of applause for them, please.
One, two.
This mic is not. Assalamu alaikum jama'a, ina muku maraba da zuwa wannan taro na bikin baje kolin littattafai da kuma fasaha. Sunana Amra Aliyu. Wannan panel ɗin is actually supposed to be in English, but zan ɗan gauraya kaɗan. Sunana Amra Aliyu, ni marubuciya ce ta Breasts and Names of published work titled Breasts and Names of Flowers. So let's get straight into it. Please, would you want to just introduce yourself so that we can, dive into it?
We welcome all the guests. My name is Raphael Bahagu. I'm a writer and arts and culture administrator.
Okay, how about you?
My name is Brenda Donat. I'm a dance artist and marketing manager currently for Dietary Culture Foundation.
So a wannan sashi dai ya kamata ne mu tattauna akan fina-finan da muka gama kallo yanzu, wato No Man's Land da Sirrin Jini. And coming back to No Man's Land, so No Man's Land, I watched the movie, honestly, when I watched it, and it was really uneasy for me because I felt like, what's this? It gives me this vibe of Mbori. I don't know if I'm not the only one. Like, it gives me this vibe of Mbori, like people who are, I don't know how to put it in English, but it was really very uneasy. And I was wondering, what's happening here? No man's land, no man's land. Okay, so I thought to myself, no man's land maybe the whole idea is actually just doing something where, when we say no man's land, it will mean that it's a place where anything can happen, anything goes, because maybe there are no laws, nobody is, being held accountable for anything. So I'd just like you to run me through the whole idea of no man's land, because before I, ask other questions, please. Let's start with you.
Okay. Our esteemed guests, I wish the author was here himself. He's just come fresh off a tour of Europe. He's been away for 3 months. But being part of the work happening at Dietary Culture Foundation, I'll say No Man's Land is a meditation on the state of our world today. From the personal to the public space. It's a meditation on the struggle between spirit and body. We've seen for example, the recent mortality rates in Nigeria have increased because of the kind of pressures our society is under. So there are lots of fracture lines appearing across different parts of our existence, and we're seeing the fallout in our daily lives. So in a nutshell, that's what No Man's Land is speaking about.
So in essence, is it dance as a therapy? Because when I looked at it, I was feeling like, what are these people doing? What are they trying to, achieve at the end of the day? So does it get off or sell off as, getting some sort of therapy while dancing or doing what you love? Does it? Because I noticed some movements, some people fighting, unknown I don't say unknown gunmen, but like unknown people because we're not seeing anyone there. So what is it like? Run me through the process of, does it just stop at just the film, or this is something that happens really? And does it come off as, fighting something or trying to be at peace with yourself? That's when the therapy comes in. So what is it?
Okay. First off, I would like to say that the piece was created first not to be a therapy, but to make people see what is going on, what is happening. That's the first thing I would say before we begin to therapize it or something. So this is the statement, the text behind the piece. It said, I have heard the devil speak to me. I have heard God speak to me. And then these things make me do good or evil. If I do evil, I think I heard the devil speak to me. I do good, I think I heard God speak to me. At the end of the day, what is the speaker? Fear may be the speaker, because we are not just paying attention to the crisis. We are paying attention to the little things that we do not see. That is what we are trying to bring out, because right now there is fuel scarcity. Getting here, there was hold up. I want to use that as an example. And then so many cars had crashes. So that little things, the scarcity of fuel makes man not think that what I am doing can hurt the next person to me, but they just want to get something for themselves. So right now it's beginning to look like a no man's land. Like everybody is just trying to get for themselves. It is no man's land. Because why would you feel comfortable and have the right to get angry when you crashed my car just because you want to get fuel? There is no community. There is no sense of being together. So first thing, it is not supposed to be a therapy. It is supposed to show these little things that happen that we do not pay attention to. So we put ourselves in this space of feeling. Like we went to the extent, we did research, got some certain victims to have conversations with. So we feel what they feel. Like we put in our state to be in that fear, that pain of being the mother that has to look for her child and being the wife that has to look for her husband. Then to let you know that this is what we are going through, to show that pain. And then we understand that gradually, we are losing the sense of humanity. Our mind is no longer being there for each other. We just want to think of ourselves. And at some point, thinking of yourself make you even lose yourself. So that is
It still connects with yesterday's conversation about using music to, pass your message, to, create awareness on certain societal issues. And I feel like this dance is on the track too. So, but how do you get people to, because I, for one, when I watched that film, like, I had to force myself because I have to talk about it. I don't know if on a normal day I would get myself to watch that movie to the end. So how do you get people to
go to the places that were playgrounds for children in the city. It's either you see a shopping mall or you see an army barrack. So even the landscape is reflecting what the dance is trying to say. So we're just like men at an alarm bell saying, this street should not go any further. There is no bridge. Let's turn around or build a new road. That's what part of what the faith is saying.
But does it get you that think you have access to sense, oh, people are watching, or people know, or people are beginning to talk about it, or people are beginning to, bring solutions to these things, or.
Well, first off, I would say it's still a work in progress. Like, it's not really fully out yet. You guys are the first seeing it. So it's still a work in progress. So we're still making research because what you said, not so easy, but yet easy. So you see what we want you to see, and yet you're not really comfortable to see, but interested to see. Work in progress.
or
and
to
then-
intrigue you to do something about what you have seen?
Yes, to see and do something about what you just see, what you've just seen. So it's still a work in progress, and we're trying to make everything like that way. But we are surely going to build conversation. How they try to survive, and we're also going to show how you survive from something like this. Is dead, your husband looking for the wife and the child. As a mother, how would you feel at night? You're running alone and then you cannot find your child. Like that pain. So we would have conversations first around it, and then let's be it open for conversation. Ask you what you think about it first, then we make it open for you to see. But I would just say it's still a work in progress, and then we'll see the whole final thing.
Thank you. You want to add to that?
Okay, yes. For example, the work is timely in the sense you were speaking about how uneasy you were to engage with the work. And I think it's part of the commentary the piece is making about Nigerian society. The World Cup is currently ongoing in Qatar 2022. I had a conversation with somebody. He was complaining, no fuel, no water, no light. I told him, okay, don't watch the World Cup. Sit down and think what to do for your family. So I'm saying the work is saying, okay, face yourself, from the individual to the corporate, from the personal to the political, That's what this work is saying to us. It's time for us to really look in the mirror. How do you sleep well when your neighbor cannot sleep well?
Bringing us back to the beginning, how we're supposed to be our brother's keeper.
Brother's keeper. Okay, so, but don't you think the visuals are a little bit, the story itself is disturbing. Now the visuals is, trying to bite my eyes off. And I feel like what is going on here, don't you think is going to stop people? Because I feel like besides trying to push this thing out, besides the storyline, let it be something that can be comforting for the eyes. I mean, I'm watching something that is really uneasy or disturbing, and the visuals also are red or black, and all I see are people really dancing in a kind of way, trying to express themselves, and I feel like the visuals can be better. Don't you think so?
Amra,
I wanted to answer.
thank you. You've been such an interesting panelist because I can see you're really engaged with the work. I feel you're really engaged with the work. And I think that's part of our success, even if it's one person. Even if it's one person that becomes activated and actionable as a result of this work, I think it will be good enough for all of us.
Okay, our time is up, but do we need to talk about the other movie? What? Okay, questions, please. All right, thank you. I really wanted to talk about the other movie because I feel like it's okay. Someone wants to ask questions. Because I feel like it's something that is really important to talk about. I remember I once had a boyfriend. Lokacin giyan soyayya na ta jana AS ne shi. Ni ma AS ce. So like I was like, I can marry this guy. Whatever happens should happen. Like, and I was already thinking of, please go ahead.
Well, I think I want to start by vehemently opposing. I want to start by vehemently opposing to Amra's position that this particular film is really positive. It really demonstrates, what is really happening in Nigeria currently. It is not disturbing. First of all, there is that aspect of curiosity for people to start watching till the end. And it is only when you do that, that when you start to think, about the consequences, what is really happening in the country will continue to manifest. So it is very, very interesting. It has to be gradual. It really deficit or demonstrate what is actually there is a problem really in the country, just like yesterday's presentation. Different colleagues have explained so many things. Now, this is a very, a summary, if you like, a summary kind of what is really happening in the country. So I think, Amra, it doesn't have to scare you. That aspect of curiosity will have to come, you see? So don't get discouraged that it is just at that level. Feel free, you are making progress. It's really going to ginger us. You have started somewhere, and then we want to see how it's going to end. All of us, are seeing what is really happening within the country. And you have said it. By the time we do it, we have to start to think about alternatives. Looking at what is happening to our brothers and sisters. Some of the activities that is really happening needs to be checked up. And in the long run, it's not going to be a one-man affair. It has to be a collective responsibility, whereby the whole society, every individual or groups have a role to play. Please keep it up. I like it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Najibullah Nakaka. Okay, my name is Najibullah Nakaka. What I actually understood from the piece is, from the word no man's land, the phrase there, people that live in anarchy, if you see it, you see insecurity, you see rape, and you see self-defense. I think I'm from Birungwaru local government. I will be the right to tell you that that's not scary. That's what happened. You see that there is something like banditry, shooting, like someone is then raping, then the people had to stood up and start to defend themselves. That's why they use axes. Because there is no government intervention, that's why there is no people using guns. Those people, use what they just have to defend themselves. So it's not anything scary, that's just the reality. If you don't know it, that you live here, you don't know it. But we that live there, that the things happen, that's the normal business there. So it's not scary, that's just the story of Nigeria, not West Nigeria.
You mean the reality is not scary? It doesn't scare you. The reality doesn't scare you.
It doesn't.
That someone in your neighborhood is dying doesn't scare you. It's supposed to be normal?
No.
Yeah, that's the reality, but I feel like, honestly.
Now, can I ask a question? Okay.
Okay, shall I go on?
Yes.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Mahmoud Shahu.
And I would just put myself in his shoe because I was raised and schooled in Maiduguri. So I was like, when I was watching the movie, I was like, this is like, I have experienced some part of it already. And I was baffled. I was carried away by some of the, I start recalling some of the incidences that happened somewhere around in Maiduguri, where I even had to experience a bomb blast in front of me or something like this. So my question is, if I will watch this and understand it, do you have a target audience? What are people that are not in somewhere where I was? How are they going to perceive or understand this kind of screaming? Thank you.
People like me.
Okay, thank you so much. That's a very important question. And yes, we have a target audience. And we are being the voice of you and you that have experience. We are trying to be your voice and show this to people that haven't seen. And to let them know that it is scary, but can you change? You want, okay, we should try and reduce the pain and the black and red pictures in the dance, but can you reduce it in reality? Is it something that we can reduce while experiencing it? We can't. So we would show you how it is. You that haven't seen, we'll let you know how it is. And if you can't finish, fine. We'll stop there and have a conversation. And I bet you would continue because I'm sure everybody will expect a happy ending. But in cases like this, they never gave us a happy ending. The ending wasn't happy. Many had to die defending themselves. Many children were missing, like so many right now. So there is no happy ending. You will see it and you will know there's no happy ending and it will make you do something. So yes, we have a targeted audience and it's people that have the power and have not seen what we go through. So we are putting ourselves to be your voices and let them know that this is what we are going through. So
Please, another round of applause for the panel. Amra, Aliyu, Brenda,
We're hoping
and
to
Raphael.
find a happy ending in the real world.
A
Thank
picture-
you very
group picture
much.
for them, please.
Thank you.
As they take the group picture, we'll prepare for the next panel. From the program, we're supposed to have archiving Hausa women writing. But zamu dan canza investing in arts and culture, wato agazawa domin haɓaka fasahohi da al'adu, shi za mu yi yanzu. So kan mu ga an ɗan canja shi. Quintessential librarian.